Okay. See, like in the last session, we were discussing about the SQL queries that we did, right? So, did you guys get a chance to work on those assignments that I put up onto that drive? I mean, anyone, if you have any questions or queries on that SQL.
Sir, I tried the SQL query that you shared on your drive, but the last three questions I don't able to solve it.
Sorry, which questions?
Hello.
Hello, yeah, man. Hello, Aman, can you hear me?
Hello. Yes, sir. Now you are audible.
Hello. Okay.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, Aman. Guys, is my voice audible to you?
Maybe this is a problem from my end. Give it to me.
Okay. Okay, so maybe if you want to, I mean, so there are, I mean, if anyone has got a chance to try those questions over the drive, you can let me know. I can discuss that before
Yes,
I move
sir.
ahead.
I tried, but the thing is, the last 3-4 questions I don't able to solve it. Can you
Okay,
explain
okay,
it?
last 4 questions. Yeah, sure, I'll do that.
And one thing is more, I want a little bit explanation about the subquery topic.
Subquery. Okay, I'll do that. I'll do that. Okay. See, this was the exercise that I gave you all, right? This was products. So there were 2 assignments. One was product computer manufacturers. Okay, so let me just open up the SSMS. So Aman, do you have the questions on this one? The same assignment or the other
Yes,
one?
sir.
So
Yes, sir. Same assignment.
Okay.
The question is from practical 2, I think.
Question number?
The file is SQL part 2 जो है वो थी प्रैक्टिस एक्सरसाइज 2 होती है. हाँ ठीक है, सेम क्वेश्चन सर.
I can open up both of them if still.
Okay.
Because थोड़ा सा नेमिंग में थोड़ा डिफरेंस हो सकता है क्योंकि ना वो मैंने थोड़ा ये एम्प्लॉइज मैनेजमेंट वाला था क्या डेटा सेट?
बिकॉज वहाँ पे सेम था क्योंकि सब.
अच्छा, नहीं डेटा सेट आप जो क्वेश्चंस थे वो एम्प्लॉइज वाले पे कर रहे थे आप या फिर उस पे कर रहे थे, क्या कहते हैं ये इस पे कंप्यूटर
मैन्युफैक्चर से रिलेटेड.
कंप्यूटर.
इट इज कंप्यूटर
तो इस पे बताओ क्वेश्चन नंबर बताओ आपने कहाँ
ये
से
मैं
आपको मेरे
आपसे
ख्याल से ये
ऑलरेडी. यस सर, यही है.
ये 17. ठीक है, ये आपको बता दो. So I'll just connect to my server once. Just let me restart that services. I guess that they have gone down. Okay. See, what happened is basically, if I'll show you the database, so this is the database that we are using, that is the computer manufacturers. Okay. See, now the question that we have over here is, first question is add a new product, loudspeakers. The price should be 70 and the manufacturer is 2. Okay, so 70 the question. So I'm just solving this question right now. The 70. So I need to add a new product. So where should I add that new product, right? So you have two tables in this. One is the manufacturers and one is products. Correct. So I already have a table with me. So let us check out the data over there. So if I say select star from products, I will be able to see that data. See, I can see the code, the name, the price, and the manufacturer. So I want to insert a new row. So that new product, so what will be the ID? See, I already have the product up till 11. So what I can do is, I will say insert into, you put in the name of the table, that is product, that is this table. And then what I will do is, okay, insert into this table values. And what are the values? See, now values will be, first I have to give the code, then the name of the product, then the price and the manufacturer. So ID will be 12. Name of the product is loudspeaker. Then you have the price is 70 and the manufacturer is 2. Correct. This is what you need to insert. This is the information that we have. Manufacturer is 2, price is 70, product is loudspeakers. So if I execute this, this will insert a new row in this table. One row affected. If I'll check my data out now, so I should be able to see that. 12th row, loudspeaker, 70 and 2. Correct, Aman? So just have to insert the data in this. Now, if you see, the next question that we have is update the name of the product 8 to laser printer. Okay. So now, you know, this query, I think I didn't tell you also like last time. So I'll tell you that. So I already, you know, I've already made a change because I would have been doing this question previously. So what they want is, they want me write the name of this product was laser. So they wanted me to change it into laser printer. What I'll do is I'll just do the reverse. I will say the name, let's this update the name with the laser. Okay, let me just do this. I'm saying the name of the product is laser printer right now. I want to change it into laser. So how will I do it? So for that, we have to run an update command. So update command is very simple. So, you know, I'll tell you two commands over here. One is called as update command and another is called as delete command. Okay. Now let's suppose, let me open up any of my tables. Probably, you know, I'll go over. What I will do is, let me just use this table. Okay, I'll use this. Okay, so let's use this database, that is org. In this database, I have some tables. So I'll just showing you something. Select star from So I have this table with me. Worker. Let us execute this. Okay. So now there could be a requirement that the table is already there, but you want to delete some data from here. Okay, you want to remove some data from this table. So how will I do it? Okay. So in order to delete the data from the table, we have a command that we call it as delete from, and you just define the name of the table. You will give this as the table name. If you will run this command, what will happen is it will delete all the data from this table. Okay, if I run this command, what will happen is it will just leave the headers. Except for headers, it will just the structure will be there, but the data, all the data that you see in this table, that will be deleted. Okay, but we can control this. Say suppose I only want to delete the data of 8th worker. So what I will do is I will say delete from this where worker ID is equal to 8. Right, so now it will only delete one record, that is this, not all the data. Okay, so you can define with the help of the where condition what data do you want to delete. See, now that data is deleted and 8 is no more there. So similar to this, like to the update command, you have one more command with you, that is update. Update is, as the name itself it tells, it is used to update the data. Like for example, I realize that the person whose worker ID is 7, his name is not Satish. His name was, say suppose it was not Satish with I, it was Satish with double E. I want to update this table, so I will say update. I will put the table. This is the name of the table that I have. Okay, I'll give that name of the table over here. I will say set first name equal to Satish. Now, if I'll run this command, again, what will happen is, since I have not given any where condition, all the names, all the first names, they will be updated to Satish. Okay, let me show you. So let me do this and show you over here. 7 rows affected. If I'll select from the table, everywhere it will be Satish. Okay, so I will say roll back. I'm just undoing that transaction so that my data comes back. Now what I will do is I will put up a condition where worker ID equal to 7. So I will give this as a condition so that only the required data gets updated, not all the data. So now if I'll show you, you will realize that only one name has been updated, not all of this. Okay. Now you guys just do these questions, these 4 questions. Just all of you please share the queries of all these 4 questions over here. Love, I hope you all are trying it. Yeah. So, Mohsin, you have to try these questions, the four, the ones that are highlighted. Yeah, right. Aman, so this is correct, right? And same way, you can just apply a wear condition and you can say where price is greater than the 120. Okay. Okay. So shall I move ahead? Rollback is not working. It should work. No, you have written it wrong way. Rollback trans. Rollback trans. Okay. The trans will come after that. Like this. Transaction. And you know, it is not trans. Okay. What you do is you write begin transaction. Either you write begin complete transaction, or you write only this transaction. It will come in blue color. Okay. Or you just write begin tran. Okay. The shortcut of that. And then you have two ways. Okay. If you have written a begin transaction, okay, what will happen is that command will start. Then it will not be completed till you don't give the command rollback or commit. There are two commands, correct? Rollback means that whatever you have done, move it back to the original state. And commit means permanently do that effect. Okay, that is what you understand by the commit. Okay. So now, you know, today we will be starting with the SAS macros. Okay. Anyone knows what are macros? I mean, has anyone ever worked with the macros?
Yes, sir, I did.
Yeah. So in the VBA, right? Excel VBA, you write the macros over there. So what is the purpose of that macro? Huh?
It is like a automation.
Right. It is like an automation of that code. So basically, so that you do not have to, basically you do not have I have written this over here. Now I have defined a variable, and that is variable is a, like, you know, the way you do it in the R, you define a variable, and in that variable you save that information. Same way I have defined a variable a over here, in which I am saving the word as crew. Now wherever I have written crew, what I will do is instead of crew, I will write ampersand a. Ampersand a. Now if I'll execute this code, that means now a variable a has been declared. So wherever I have written ampersand a, it will means that, you know, I am referring to crew. Okay, so let me run this procedure. I get the output, right, for the crew data set, hire date and salary. Now, and same is the case over here. So if I run both of them together, I will get both the outputs for these data sets. Something went wrong. Oops, this is DSP. Okay, let me run this. So I can see complete output has been generated. Now the benefit of this is, now if I want to run the same code for another data set, I just need to make a change over here. I will say % let a equals to employees. Now what will happen is, if I'll execute the same code, this output will come up for another data set, that is employees. See, now I'm getting the same output for employees data set. Getting it? So this is how, you know, what you do is you define your macro variables. Now these macro variables that I have defined, they are basically something that are defined completely, you know, we define it like this: ampersand a dot. I write it like this: ampersand a dot. Either you can write ampersand a dot, or you can write, when you know, when it comes to the part of declaration, or you can write it like this also, ampersand a. They both mean the same. Okay, they both mean the same over here. Either you write ampersand a dot or you write ampersand a. They both mean the same. Now what I want to do is, say suppose I want to make my library also dynamic. That I want to define my library also into the variable. So how will I do it? I will say %let I declare another variable L equals to DSP 55. Okay, I have defined it like this. Now, wherever I have written DSP 55, instead of this, what I can do? I can write ampersand L, and over here also L. Okay. So now you all tell me, will this code work? Yeah, Vandana, can you hear me? Is my voice clear? I think you have having some troubles. See, this code will not work. Why? Because I told you that declaration of a variable can be done in two parts, two ways, either this way or this way. Now over here it is ampersand L dot. It will consider that, okay, this is the complete part of my variable. Okay, this will be replaced with DSP 55 and ampersand A will be replaced with employees. But when you have to give the name of the data set, you give the library dot, you give library dot data set, correct? So there will be a shortage of one period. So in that case, what you will have to do is you will have to give two period over here. You will have to give two dots, because this means the declaration of the variable, that is L, that is DSP 55 dot that I have given manually, and then ampersand A, that is equivalent to my right. So this is equivalent to this employees. Okay, so let us run this. See, I have got the answers, complete answers over here. So I can make my library and my data sets all dynamic. So if I want to change my library, I will just change my library over here, and everywhere it will automatically be taken care of. This class, any questions on this? Okay, now all of you please write a code. Write a code to print, you know, you should give a proc print proc freak and proc means. So whatever dataset name you give, these three procedures should run. But there is one more thing that I want, that when each of these procedures work, you should have a title, and the title should come like this: the proc means for whatever the data set is, it should be coming like this. Same thing should come for the proc mean, the proc freak, the proc freak for the data set. So I want the title to be coming as like this for each of the procedures. The proc freak for the data set name, the proc means for that data set name. So just try to write this up. Let me see who is able to solve this.
Can you please explain me the concept of macros once again? Because I don't know, there's some problem in my system. से बार बार log in log off हो रहा था, तो मेरा बीच का part miss हो गया.
Which part? I'll just repeat that up.
So from the
So where
starting
did
of the
where did you
macros
log off?
So बार बार log in
sorry?
log off, I don't know ये I don't know, मेरा screen बार बार fluctuate हो रहा था. So I was unable to concentrate on one thing. So I don't know. जब से आपने macro start किया तो तब से बहुत disturbance था.
Okay. No, so I'll repeat it. See, so SAS macros is basically in this, this is a process which is used to automate the SAS codes that you write. Okay. And now in these, in order to automate that stuff, you have two ways. One is SAS macro variable and another is SAS macros. So right now we are understanding what are SAS macro variables. Okay, so SAS macro variables, as the name itself tells, where you are declaring some variable. So what I want to achieve is, say suppose, just right now, just don't focus on that. Say suppose if there was a requirement that I executed these two codes on my data set. Let me just write that up. DSP55 dot decrew, and the same thing over here. Okay, now I executed these two codes. Now what I want to achieve is that I want to run the same two codes for another dataset, that is the dataset employee, which is in the same library. Okay, so what will happen is I will have to change the names at both the places. I will change the name over here and I will change the name over here. So if in case this code was lengthy and I was running 7-8 procedures in one go, so making a change at 8 places will be a tedious process, correct? You will have to change the name of the dataset. Like right now it is crew. I want to change crew to employees everywhere. So what I did was I declared a variable. I said %let. So %let is used to declare a variable. So I'm saying %let a equals to employees. Okay. So in this variable a, the value employees will be saved. Now what I'll do is, instead of writing crew, I will actually pass the variable over here. I will say ampersand a, and over here also I will write ampersand a. Now because of this, what will happen is, when I will execute this code, everywhere wherever the ampersand a is coming, SAS will understand that we are talking about the variables. So everywhere the employees will come.
So I just wanted to know that you have said that %let a is equals to employees. So and then where this variable come from? Dot and.
Sorry.
I just don't know where this I'm not getting like we have let a as employees. So DSP 55
Correct.
dot and a. What does that signify?
So and a means that this will understand that we are referring to this variable a. And so what is the value in the a?
So for any variable that we are assigning, we have to use and variable.
So yes, you will have to use ampersand, because by that it will understand that you are declaring a variable, right? If you will write simply a, there can be a data set by the name of a as well in that library. So how will it differentiate with that? That is with the help of ampersand.
Okay.
Okay. So now if I'll have to make a change that, I want to run this code for another data set, I will just have to make a change at one place. I will over here, I will refer that I want to use it for crew, and I will rerun it everything. So without making a change at all at different places, it will be will be done at only one single place. Okay. Yeah. And now, for declaring these variables, there are two ways. Either you can write %a, or you can write %a dot. So there are two ways by which you can represent it. Okay, %a and %a dot. Either of the ways can be used. So what I was telling was that, now like what I've done is I am actually declaring two variables, a and l. In the a, I am saving the dataset name, and in the l, I am saving the library. So what I did was I said ampersand, over here I say ampersand l, right? Ampersand l dot. Now this will become ampersand l means, sure, I'll just share this code. Okay, so ampersand l means that I am referring to this library, and ampersand a means that I'm referring to this data set. But now, because I know that the variables can be declared in this way also, ampersand l dot. So what will now happen is the output of this will be DSP54 or DSP55, and data set is crew, which will be an incorrect, the usage of the library and the data set. So I will have to put up a dot sign extra over here. So because this will create one variable that will be DSP55, then I have manually entered a dot, and then I am referring to ampersand a, which means, oh sorry, I think only V got pasted in that chat. Let me just share it again. Actually, my control key is this malfunctioning on this laptop, so it creates a problem. Double dots, because I told you that this is what I was telling you, that there are two ways by which you can declare a variable. Either by simply writing ampersand a, or you can write ampersand a dot. These are the two ways by which the variables can be declared, right? So when I am writing ampersand l dot ampersand a, now SAS will assume that this is the complete syntax for the variable. Okay, now this will give you DSP55, and this part will give you crew. So your output will be DSP55 crew. But when you refer a data set, you say library dot crew. So that is why I will have to put one more dot over here. Okay. So now you all had to write a code where you had to print these three procedures, and the dataset names have to be defined with the help of the variable, and the title should also come up. That title, the title should be the proc means for whatever that dataset name that you are printing. So has anyone written that? Yeah, Mosam,
So can you please?
You will have to declare the variable.
So can you repeat? I think your voice just went off.
Okay. So what you have to do is you have to write a code which should print three procedures: proc print, proc free, proc means. And with every procedure, there should be a title that the proc means for this is, the title should be the proc means for whatever the data set that you are using. the proc free for whatever the data set you are using, the proc print for whatever the data set you are using.
Okay.
Okay, so if you write crew, so it should give you the proc print of crew, and the title should come as the proc print for crew. And when you write data set as
Got it, sir.
when you run the screen for okay. Okay, so no, but you have to basically write it with the help of variables, Mohsin. So if
I have
you
to
change
put
the
in
data set, everything
I have to put in this macros.
variables. Right. Because now if you change the data set, everything should be taken care of automatically. You should not have to make any manual intervention.
Sure, sir.
See, now still there is a correction needed. Let me just copy this, your code that you have written. See, understand the logic. What I want is that you have declared the variable over here, correct? Library is DSP55, dataset is screen. Let me do one thing.
Sir,
Let me just put up this title.
I just mistake. I just put that thing happened, right?
Right. So I put the title inside this. Now what I can do is instead of writing the dataset hurt, over here also I can declare my variable ampersand, that is A. So now what will happen is, like if I just run this up, so A is crew. So if I even run this part, there's something went wrong in this. DS. This is right. Print main for data set. Why is it not taken up this? Just give me 1 minute. Let me just check it out. What is the problem? Print main for this. Okay, the code is correct. Was person 10% A. The dot A should not. No, this is syntax wise is correct. Just give me a moment, let me just instructions. So I mean, Saurav, I was running without that only, so it was still picking that this. No, Vishay, your will work because you have actually given the name, the title as the hard coded, right? So the problem that is happening is basically this variable should come up and pick up the value from here as well, correct? So this is something that I'm trying to achieve in this, but this is creating a problem. Okay, I'll just take a look at it, why it is not giving. Just give me a moment. Right. In the meantime, what I'll do is let me just give you, tell you one more statement. I'll just take a look at it. I'll just give you a break over there. I'll take a look at it. Okay. So, like percent let, we have one more statement that is called as percent put. Okay. We have a statement that is called as percent put. So what does this percent put does is, see, if at any point in time you want to check out that what value is stored in a variable, if you want to check out that what value is there in that variable, you can use the percent put. Now, percent put is the statement that will print the output in the log window, right? If I say percent put and ampersand a, okay, so what is the value of a? That is screw. So if I execute this command, what this will do is, if I'll go to the log, see, it just prints what the value that I have in that variable, that is screw. Okay, so percent put is something that is used to print something into the log window. So if I say percent put, I just write anything, right? The weather is good. Okay, it will actually print the same thing into the log, right? So percent space will not be there. Let us run this. See, it prints percent put, the weather is good, right? So it prints that statement for me. Now, similarly, when you define any variable name, it gives you the variable name to be printed. So in case, many a times, sometimes developers are working, so they forget that what value was stored in what variable. So they can quickly do and check that out. Okay. And similarly, you have a command that is called as percent put automatic. So there are certain there are certain macro variables which are system defined. Okay, there are certain variable the macro variables that come as system defined. So if you will run this percent put automatic, it will give you the complete list of those variables. See, if I run this, so these are some variables that you can use which are system defined, right? Like if you want to print the date, right, system date, it will print that for you. If you want to print the version and all, so it will print that versioning as well, which windows you are working, right? So these are some predefined. So many of you do not use them. System time, whatever the time is there in that system, it will give you that time from here. Okay, at what time was it started, time zone, the user ID. So if you just write these are the variable names, and this will be the output. Okay. So these are the system defined. Similarly, you can also print the user defined as well. That what are the user defined variables that you have in your this code up till now. Right, class? Okay, so Samir, you have shared. Let me just pick this up. So, is there any change that you have done in it? I mean, if is it working correct at your system, Samir? Percent let is this. Yeah, so yours is, yeah, this is picking it up, right? Crew, the title is coming. See this. Okay. So let me just see what has gone wrong. This is the same thing that I had written, right? So the same thing I had written into my code. %B, %P, and %A. I am also referring to the same thing. And why is it not working over here? Okay, which ways? So Aman, where are you getting an error? Okay, so we are saying put. So automatic is with underscore, right? So the automatic you have to write it like this. %put underscore this. Do you please check if there is any code that is already executing, right? So because you haven't written this semicolon, the colons also in the last, right? So your %put statement is not having the semicolon in the last. Please stop the code and rerun it. Plus just check over here. Are you getting some message over here running at this area on the program editor? Can you share your screen, Aman, if I make you the presenter? Okay, just try it. Okay, class. So in the meantime, let's just take a quick short break. Okay, so let's start at 6:20. Okay, we'll take perfect. So we'll start at 6:20 now. Okay, so hi class, so shall we start? So, right, so like, up till now, what we were doing was we were discussing onto the side of macro variables, where what we did was with the help of %let, we defined a variable, and with the help of %put, what I was trying to do was I was trying to print that value into the log window. Now, what we will be doing over here is we will try to understand the SAS macros now. Okay, now SAS macros, what are they? So SAS macros are something, where a big code has been written and you want to print that same code again and again. So instead of executing the same code all over again, what you can do is you can actually save that code in the form of a variable. Okay, so I'll just show you what I mean by that. So what I will do over here is I will create something like this. So let me just show you the syntax for that. That what is the syntax for this? Syntax for macro. So the syntax for a macro is you say %. Okay. First of all, so every macro thing that you will have in the SAS, it is something that will always start with the percentage only into this the macros part. So what you do is first of all you define this part as a percent, and then you do is you define %macro. Okay, you say %macro, and then you give it a name, whatever name you want to give to that macro. You will give it a macro name. Then you will write your code, and then you say %mend. Mend stands for macro end. The macro is ending, and the macro name. So this is how you basically create a macro and define it. Okay. Now the good thing about macro is because once you execute one macro, the SAS will actually save the code into its own environment, into its own memory. And when the next time you execute it, it also reduces down the execution time. So that is what the benefit of a macro is. Now, for example, I have written, I will say %macro. I'll call it as, say, suppose hello. Okay. Inside this code, I am saying proc print. I'm just writing a very simple code inside this. Say, suppose I'm saying proc print data is equals to crew. Okay, and I say run. Now I will say %mend hello. So my macro is ready. It is just that you just have to define this part and this part, and in the middle, whatever the code you would have written, that will stay the way it is. Let us execute this. Let me check the log. So it has been executed. If I'll go to my this libraries into a work, I can see that macro created. Right? So hello macro has been created over here. No, so library has to be right? So I mean, library has to be defined inside the code, definitely, because otherwise it will not be able to recognize it. So although the previously my code was executed, because the first time what happened is it does not kind of takes that it does not print it, it just saves that code into its memory. So let me just modify it. So good point. So just this 55 dot. So this will come up. I'll re-execute this. And let me check. So my macro is, this part is executed again over here. Okay. Now what I will do is, if I'll simply say anywhere in my code, I will write %hello, and I'll execute this. What it does, it proc prints that procedure. It executes the code that was written there inside that macro. So Now the good thing about it, I can anywhere I am into my editor window, anywhere I am, and I have to refer back to that code. So what I can do is I will simply write %hello and my code will be executed. I do not need to go up and down anywhere and make a selection and all. I simply write %hello and my job is done. Getting it? So simple task, I mean, you just have to define and create a macro, and there you are. Just try it out. I mean, write just any macro and try this out. Okay. Anyone, any questions on this? So actually, this is not a variable. This is not a variable. This is a complete code itself. So what that means is that if you want to execute this complete code any point anywhere in your complete area, you just need to refer to this %hello, because you have given that code a kind of, you have saved that code into the memory by the name hello over here. Okay, so I have not assigned a variable. Variable was like when I was giving that dataset name or a library name. But in this case, I have just saved that code itself into that word. So wherever I'm calling %hello, that means I'm calling this code. Right? Like if any one of you might would have worked in any of the C languages or C++, there we used to do that call by reference, call by value. I mean, if anyone has done it. So what we used to do was we used to call the previous the function over, I mean, the any of the already created function part. Yes, Saurabh. So you don't have to write that code again and again. And plus, since it is already executed once, it is already saved into the memory. So when the next time you execute it, so SAS will give you the results at a faster pace. So that is also one of the criteria why we actually save the codes into the macros. Okay. See, now you can also create the macros. Right, Samir. So that is the point that I was coming to now. So the macros that you create over here, they can be created with the user input as well, right? So they are called as parameters. Macros can be built with parameters. Okay, the people, if anyone of you has worked with stored procedures in the SQL, it is something similar to that. Like the stored procedures, you have something called in stored. Macros are nothing exactly. If you have to relate this term to the if you have to relate this term to SQL, so similar thing is there in the SQL Server as well, and we call it as a stored procedure, where we save the query into one small little function. Wherever we call that function, the complete SQL query is executed. So now coming back to this, so Mohsin, how I'm running it? First of all, I created the macro. This was the syntax for that. %macro, the name of the macro, and inside this I write my piece of code, and then I say %mend. Mend stands for macro end. Now this is the variable that the macro is created, and in order to execute it, I'm simply saying %hello. The name of that macro. What was the name that I gave? Let me create one more macro just for that better understanding, if any one of you still have a doubt. Right, so what I'm doing is, suppose I create %macro and I give it a name as, so Mohsin, %mend, so I'll just tell you, I say percent macro, I'm creating another macro. Let's call it as sample. Okay. In this, I am writing two procedures. Proc print data equals to DSP 55 dot employees. Run. Then I'm defining proc print data equals to DSP 55 dot. So again, you know, I've done the same thing. Employees. This is what I'm writing over here. Now, so Mohsin, percent mend means macro end. So this is where the macro is starting, and mend means where the macro is ending. So I will say percent mend, that stands for macro is ending over here. So this much part it will save into its the memory, the macro that you would have created, and you give the name again over here. So this was the name of my macro, and I am over here defining from here the code is starting, and over here mend macro end it is ending. That is what we are doing it over here. Okay, so let us create this. Now this is created. Let us check the log if we have got perfect. So we haven't got any error. Now what I will do over here is, if I need to call this, I will simply say percent sample. That's it. And I will be able to use these two codes that I have written inside this anywhere I want. See, the output is generated. No, so Saurabh, I haven't used the macro variables as of now, right? Right now I was just explaining this thing to Mohsin, so he had just a little bit of confusion. No, so Vishay, for each macro, you will have to end each macro separately. So if you will actually see, right, why is that happening? Because every macro is ending by its name. Okay. So you have to define where that macro is starting and where is that ending. So you will have to define that for each one. Okay. Now what I will do is, let us write this code. Say suppose, we had this data set with us, crew. Remember, if suppose, in the crew data set, I want to print the output for just the pilots, right? How will I write that code? I want to print the data only for the pilots, which are pilot 1. How will I do the proc print? How will I write that proc print? Right, this is how I will write it. I will say proc print data equals to DSP 55 dot crew, where job code is equals to FLT81. Correct? If I'll run this code, what will happen in this case is, I will get the output for only those employees who are flight attendant 1. So if I'll just run this, oops, the space was missing. See, now I get the data only for FLT81 over here. I have just got that data, FLT81. But what I will do now is, I will actually make it the macro controlled, and where the user will be able to give the input also. What I will do is, I will say percent macro. Okay. Inside this, I will define a variable. Okay, I'll say percent macro. Let me give it a name. Let us give it as sample2. And inside this, I will define a parameter, that is ampersand, say suppose S. Okay, I have defined a variable ampersand s. Now over here, what I will do is I will refer to job code equal to ampersand s. Okay, so I have written job code equal to ampersand s now. See, now understand what I am doing. Now, when I will be running this macro, I can define which job code do I want to see. If I want to see flight attendant 1, I will pass flight attendant 1 over here only. If I will say I want to see flight attendant 2, I will pass while executing this macro. So let me do it. I will say ment percent macro end percent ment sample 2. That's it. Let us execute this. Done. Oops. What is wrong? Invalid macro parameter name. So this is. So Avedi, we do not have to define this over here. So there basically there is a concept that is called as basically there is this concept that is called as local and global variable. Okay. So in this case, I don't need to define that in that case. Okay, now it's done. So it was not ampersand, I just have to give that name. That's it. So what I'll do now is I will say percent sample inside the bracket, correct? Inside the bracket, what you need to do is you just need to give the value that you want to print. I want the data for FLT 82. Okay, and run this. So now it should give me the output for flight attendant 2 over here. Now I'll just do it. Why is it not taking this now? Oh, yeah. So this you get it, right? So the value was that it has to bring into quotes, correct? So it was taking it as simple value, which was going it as a variable part into this. Right? So I'll just share this code also with you so that you can use it. So please try this code out. So just execute it. Okay, so like the question that you was like Akriti, you were mentioning over here, like why we haven't declared the variable, right? So basically, what we do in this is basically there are two type of variables that you have. Okay, one is called as local variable and another is called as global variable. Okay, so this is a concept that we follow. This is, and this is something that is a universal concept. It is followed in the other languages as well. Like it is something that is picked up from the the codes, the languages like C++ and Java only. So when we talk of local variable, right? Local variable means the variable that is only usable inside one single code. That is called as a local variable. Okay, like in this case, when I have declared the val, now this is a macro variable only, but this is a local macro variable because the life of this variable is only in this code. Outside this code, it doesn't have any presence. Okay, and the another type of and when we were using the function like this, the %let, when we were creating a variable with this command, in that case, what happened is the variable that is defined that becomes a global variable. Global variable means inside that entire SAS session, that variable will have its presence. You will be able to use it wherever you want. In fact, you can use that inside the macro also. Okay, inside the macro also the %let variable can be used without any problem. So that is what the difference is. Okay, so now for example, like we at the top we defined the two variables. Let me define that just once more over here. I say %let a equals to crew. Okay, now what is this? This is a global variable that I have declared. Now what I do is, while creating this macro, inside this, instead of crew, I will call it as ampersand a. Okay. And let me remove this job code command. Let us give the job code command as well for now. Okay. Now what I'll do is let me run these two parts. Now if I run this, now what I do is, what is the value of a? That is crew. And job code is equals to ampersand val. Okay, what I'll do now is, while running the sample2, I will just declare one value, that is FLT83. Right now, what will happen is, it will automatically understand that I am referring to this data set because I have passed this variable, and this val is FLT83. So it should give me the data for flight attendant 3 in the output. And let us check this out. Right, so I get the data of flight attendant 3, and if I change the data set over here, and because I need to have a job code variable in that, so that is why I will not do it. But if I know that I have any other data set where I have the variable job code, this a will work over there also, because this is a global, right? This is a global variable. It can be used anywhere, but this val I won't be able to use it outside the code. Is it making sense? So Sameer, you are clear on this? Yes, you can do that also. You can just loop in macros, the one macro inside the another. That is doable. Okay, so this is a simple concept. I mean, macros are not that tough, right? It is just a process of, it's just a way of automating the stuff that you are doing. That's it. Okay, now class, any questions or any doubts up till here? Yes, Saurabh, you can call it somewhat like that only, like the way you have your user-defined functions in the R and Python. But the small difference is, user-defined functions. Like, when you say functions are something that return a value. Okay, so they will take some input, but ultimately they will always give you some value in the output. But in the case of this macros over here, what they are doing is they are actually giving you a complete data set also, which is not possible with the functions. Okay, so I think with this, we will come to an end for our session. In the next week, we will be starting with the project in the SAS. So I will request all of you to download that project data set and the problem statement from your LMS. Okay, and next week, I think we will be in a good position to, I think next Saturday, we will close the SAS, and Sunday, I guess, we will start with the Tableau. Okay, this is what we will be doing, and in case you will have any the problems or doubts, so that definitely we'll take it.
So
So
can you
Mohsin,
repeat
donate.
what did you say? Like, what did you say that what we'll be doing on Sunday?
So we'll start with Tableau.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so on Saturday, I'll tell you how to install that app and all the procedure. And then we'll start on Sunday with that. And Mohsin, I mean, I'm not clear on this DUNet and 2K that you're asking about. I mean, 2K test is one thing that we do. I mean, that only I know that 2K the 2K test that you do in that your hypothesis testing.
Okay, sir.
What context were you asking? I mean, if you can just give me a little idea.
So I'll just give me a second. I'll be sharing it. Let me share it with you.
Okay. So are you all clear on the different hypothesis tests that we have? 2K test, chi-square, z-test, t-test.
This was a function I ran.
Okay. So you were using GLM, okay.
Yes, sir.
On this part. Oh, so this is, just related towards the, I think, wait a second, it means speed.
So let me explain. If you want, should I explain the data set?
Yeah, please do that.
So it's a hard data set, and it's like what is the average age if someone is dying? What is the cholesterol status of that, and relevant to that, relevance of that.
Okay.
So that is the whole thing here.
So your age at death is something that you are predicting over here, correct?
So it is given. So it is just to show what is the relevance. What is the if the cholesterol level is low, what is the age of death? If it's in the right in the right area, what's the ratio? A mean of the mean age. of death, and if it's high, what is the mean age of death? It's like that.
Okay. So this is something that I'll just check it once. Just maybe I'll just keep this up with me. I'll just copy this and maybe so this is you are using of the SAS help only, right? So this is the SAS help data set.
Yes, sir. It's in
So not a
self help
problem in
only.
that.
And so one thing also I
I'll
wanted
just
to
go
know.
through it. Yes, please.
Yeah, actually, sir, I was actually watching some video. If you want, I will forward you the link of it on your WhatsApp. In that, there were certain data sets which I don't think are available. Maybe he is using the original certified one. That's why it is happening. So if I want to get those certain extra data set, uh, is there
Can
any
you
way
give
I
me
can
the
get it?
link?
I will
So were you
video link.
watching any of the statistics video? Were you watching? I mean, video that you were
Yes,
watching was they were
yes,
related
yes,
to the
yes.
statistics.
It's a University of
Okay.
Waterpool.
What was the name of the data set? Actually, I
Fitness.
have SAS in one of my other laptops. Fitness, because I probably would be having the data set. Because I have SAS in one of my other system as well, and in that I have a lot of stuff related to the SAS. So the data set name is Fitness, correct?
Yes, sir.
So just give me a little time. I'll check that over there, and if it will be there, I'll upload that complete data sets for you over there on that the drive. I'll do that.
I'll just WhatsApp you the link of the video, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Sure. Thanks. Good night. Okay, class. So let's connect next week and happy Dussehra till that and enjoy your day tomorrow.